Hello friends, now in this video we shall discuss about these transgenic animals. In biotechnology there are various uses. In transgenic plants is also produced through the RDNA technology, and now the next one important application of biotechnology, through this biotechnology produce the transgenic animals. Now the transgenic animals, like the different animals like rat, mice, rabbits, also pig, some birds like hens, cow, and these are some transgenic animals. And now these animals has been produced through recombination DNA technology or rDNA technology. Now these animals insert or manipulating the DNA, means manipulate the specific gene inside to the animals. Now the one of the gene this through the recombination DNA technology, a specific gene is introduced in their body, or some specific gene are insert, means this DNA is insert into their body, and now the transgenic animals are produced through the rDNA technology, now the recombination DNA technology. And now these animals have deliberate modification of the genomes. In the animals, modification of genomes, and this material it is important for the inherited the specific characters from the next generation. Now they can insert this animal some foreign DNAs are introduced in their bodies. And now the different gene or the transmitted some gene for gene line, so that the every cell they can including the germ cells, and now this animal containing some genetic material they can transfer to the animals. Now in biotechnology, the wide ranging application of the biotechnology in animals. Now in the first one application in medical research. Now these animals, the transgenic animals, they are used in the medical research purpose. Now they can identify some animals, the specific function of the animals, and they can complex homeostatic system are found, and now the identification or the function is detected for this through this biotechnology in the medical research. These animals are used. And now the next one use, it is a toxicity, in toxicity or toxicology. Now this toxicology means it is a responsible for testing of animals, for detection of the toxicant. Now the different toxic substances are found, chemical substances are found, and now these different substances they check, and now this substance to check, and therefore this substance is safe or harmful or toxic, detection of the specific gene or specific content, chemical constituents, or testing for the in this technology. Now it is called the in toxicology. This toxicology, now the responsible for the testing, animal testing process. Now the next use, now this in molecular biology. In molecular biology, now the animals they can regulating a specific gene. Now this gene is expressed in molecular level, they can control the various activities of body. And now the molecular basis, this biotechnology is very important. Now the next one important in the pharmaceutical industries. Now in the pharmaceutical industries, most important purpose of this target production, means the transgenic animals, some targeted production like the proteins or drugs they are obtaining, and now they can produce for the testing. Means this in pharmaceutical industries, this is the most important application. And now the next one in biotechnology, production of proteins. This one of the use or one of the application in biotechnology. Now the proteins, they can produce the specific protein through the biotechnology. And now the next one application, the genetically engineered hormones. Now the hormones is important, and these hormones to creating the animals. Now the increase the milk production or yield production is the high yielding capacity are produced, or also the meat production, milk yielding capacity is produces. Also genetically engineering of the livestock and in also aquaculture, or after the modification of their animals, physiological modification or anatomical clonings or clones are producing and to reproduce the specific bloodlines. Now these are the genetically engineered hormones are producing through biotechnology. And now the next one, use of biotechnology, most important application is the genografting. Now the genografting means this developing animals. Now the specially created for the use of the genografting means the transplantation. Means the transplantation of the living cell or tissue or organs. It is called the genografting. Means specific cell or tissue or organ is transplanted through this biotechnology. Now it is called the genografting. Now these are some advantage or application of the transgenic animals. Now the wide ranging animals, there are some importance for in the medical research, also the in toxicology, in molecular biology, also in genografting, or in pharmaceutical industries for production of the proteins or drugs, and now the in biotechnology in proteins, and also the genetically engineering hormones. These hormones, there are different production of the meat or milk production. These are the application of biotechnology. Now the next term is the transgenic animals. Now these transgenic animals like the mice, in farm animals, also transgenic cattle, or these are the different animals, transgenic animals. And now the first one, transgenic mice. Now the first one animal, transgenic animal is mice. Now in laboratory investigation, these with the transgenic mice have developed a specific gene. They can using a particular gene is called the oncogene. Now this oncogene, it is a particular gene, and this gene is a cancer causing gene. Now this firstly this cancer causing gene is translated or transplanted or this mice body, and now the effect, they showing the effect on the develop the certain type of the cancer in mice body. And now the such animals can also be used for researcher for the cancer treatment, and now they can also using the mice. Now this is one of the transgenic mice is using for the treatment of the cancerous diseases. Now some animals are important for they can also use the detection of the different diseases in their bodies, and in also laboratory the transgenic mouse a model of investigation for the breast cancer was developed, or also some oncogenes. These cancerous causing gene are also introduced their bodies. Now this is the first one, transgenic animal mice. The second one, transgenic farm animals. Now these farm animals are very important applications of biotechnology. Now the transgenic animals, farm animals, they are useful to mankind, and now they can drive the greater benefits. They can get great benefit of the human beings. And now these farm animals, they are production of meats, production of milk, and production of quality of meat and milk production. They can develop or increase the transgenic farm animals through biotechnology. Now the farm animals, they can important for the improvement of the meat production, also the meat production in milk production, or the quality is also develops, and also the disease free quality or disease free resistant varieties is also develops. Now at the beginning, this one of the cow, the dairy cow, they can provide about the 2000 or 3000 liter milks in year. But transgenic animals, now this one of the transgenic animals like cow, the Holstein cow, it is a transfer the gene, and now this holistic cow provides the milk production is increases about the 6000 liter to 8 to 10,000 liters per year. This milk production is increases through the transgenic farm animals. Means this biotechnology or transgenic animals, also the specific gene is introduced to their body, and now the holistic cow provide the quality as well as quantity is also increased in the milk production. And now the another one, hen. This hen egg laying capacity is in year 70 eggs are obtaining in year, but some transgenic transgenic hens, the best races, they can obtaining or they can produce the 250 eggs in years. Now the production is increases. Now this hen leads about the 70 eggs, and after the these base races, they can about the 250 eggs laying capacity is increases through this transgenic farm animals. Also the production is increases, and they can possible to advent of biotechnology. Now this biotechnology through the production or the meat production or milk production or qualities or quantity is also increases through the biotechnology. It is one of the genetic farm animals. They are very important to mankind. And now there are some objectives in the biotechnology. There are some objectives or improve the animal breeding programs, and now it is a new technology or gene transfer technology, and they can obtaining several benefit to human beings, and there are some objectives. First one, the production of meats. Increase the production of meat. It is one of the important application. Now the second, increase the quality of their food. Food quality is increases. Also the egg laying capacity, production of the eggs production, also the wool production, and also the disease resistant variety is also developed through the biotechnology. Now these are the main aim or objective for these transgenic animals. Now the efficiency of meat production, also the improve the quality of meat, also the improve the egg laying capacity, or also the production of wool and disease resistant varieties it is the main objective of the transgenic animals. Now the next one point, it is a transgenic cattle for food production. Now the transgenic cattle, these transgenic cattle, for the researcher reported that these transgenic cattle, only these transgenic cattle, they introduce the specific gene, and the additional gene is transfer these cattle. Now they can copies of the bovine beta genes, they can introduce to their bodies, and now in dairy cattle they are evaluated the effect of the milk production. Now the next one means the transgenic animals. Now the 8 to 20% quality of food production is increases through the this biotechnology or transgenic animals. Now the next one, transgenic cattle for human therapeutic production. Now the transgenic cattle, they are used and the human therapeutic use. Now the human proteins that have been expressed in the milk, including also the human alpha lactoalbumin. This one of the gene, they are introduced means these genes are available in animals. Now the mammary glands of the dairy cows, and they are excellent production of the milks. But for specific gene in human bodies is a human alpha lactolamine. This specific gene is present in human body, and also this gene are introduced to this cow, and now the milk production, now this transgenic cow was born, or this transgenic cow are produced the human proteins in her milks, and now this milk is used as a human uses or human therapeutic use. Now this transgenic cattle, the specific gene is introduced to their bodies, and now these genes are important production of the milk, and now this milk producing gene introduced to their bodies, and now they can produce the milk, and now the human protein milk are produced in their bodies, and this milk is also used in the human beings or therapeutic use production. And now the next one use the transgenic sheep. The transgenic sheep means this animal sheep, this better growth means increase the this transgenic sheep increase the better growth, also meat production is increases, and now the wool production. This important aim of this transgenic plants to grow or to introduce the some genes are transferred through biotechnology, and now they can apply to sheep, and now this producing the transgenic sheep. Now this transgenic sheep it is available to achieve the this better growth, meat production, and also the this some wool production. Now the specific gene are introduced to their sheep or this animal, one of the gene like the keratin protein. Now this keratin gene, protein genes are introduced to their body of the sheep, and they can produce the wool production, increase the wool production. Also this transgenic sheep, this keratin is transferred to their body and produce the wool production, increase the wool production. And now also the greater म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये जी ग्रोथ होते, increase the growth, and also the meat production is also increased through the gene. Now it is a important transgenic sheep. Now the next application of the animal transgenic pig. Transgenic pig or transgenic fish and transgenic की त्यामध्ये आपल्याला हे ॲनिमल्स पाहणार आहेत आपण की त्यामध्ये ट्रान्सजेनिक पिग्स. नाउ दिस ट्रान्सजेनिक पिग मीन्स द जीन्स आर ट्रान्सफर टू पिग and increase the growth and meat. In the transgenic pigs introduce the specific gene, and now this gene is used for the increase the growth and meat production. Now this transgenic pig is also important for the increasing the production of meat and also the growth of the pig. Now the next one important, the transgenic fish. Now the various fishes are important for they can using the food purpose. Now the fish like the Atlantic salmon, also catfish, goldfish, zebrafish are it is transfected with the some growth hormones are transferred to their fish, and now these proteins are increases or the resistant genes are introduced to the fishes, and now they increase the production of fish, and now the growth hormones is also introduced to their bodies, and also the increase the production of the fish or growth is increases. Now the next one, transgenic this chicken. Now the transgenic chicken means the high protein containing eggs or better meat production is increases to this chicken. Now they also carry the expression of foraging genes. Now these foraging genes they are used to improve the genetic makeup to their animals, and now they can also expected or better growth, or also this better growth or disease resistance or high efficiency of feed efficiency, now the low fats or low cholesterol level, also the high protein containing eggs, and also the better meat quality is increases to transgenic this chicken. Now there are the several animals are important, or there are the some transgenic animals and their transgene or some specific foraging genes or foraging DNA is introduced to their bodies of these animals, and they can increase the growth or proteins, or also the meat production or egg laying capacity is increases to these animals. Now it is the most important application or transgenic animals.